Genetics is a precise thing, but sometimes it allows itself to relax. Each of us is unique in our own way. A dimple on one cheek, a cute mole, expressive eyes. All of this is great, but there are people who are lucky, and sometimes the opposite, to be one in a million or even among dozens for all of humanity. This is the Fudge Network, and in this episode, you will learn about scientifically confirmed anomalies of the human body that often have little impact on quality of life, but definitely make their owner unique. Distichiasis. Just one error in the transcription of the 16th chromosome, and you become the owner of such an unusual diagnosis. Didn't understand anything? That's how distichiasis, the superstar gene, is described scientifically, and in simple terms, a mutation in the form of a double row of eyelashes behind normally growing ones. Hollywood queen Elizabeth Taylor had this mutation. Stunningly expressive eyes with thick lashes without a gram of makeup, every girl's dream. However, sometimes distichiasis can be uncomfortable. Typically, the extra row of eyelashes originates from the meibomian gland ducts on the edge of the eyelid, but it can also affect other parts of the eyelid, and that's when it becomes a problem. Distichiasis is a genetic anomaly that affects both men and women equally. In some cases, it can occur as a hereditary trait, while in others, it may appear spontaneously without any known family history. Though distichiasis can provide some aesthetic benefits, it can also cause significant discomfort and even pose a threat to vision if left untreated. The abnormal lashes can irritate the cornea, leading to scratches and ulcers on the surface of the eye. In severe cases, it can cause corneal scarring, inflammation, and even blindness. However, with proper diagnosis and treatment, individuals with distichiasis can lead normal lives and protect their vision from potential harm. The fimbriated fold syndrome. No, it's not photoshopped. No, it's not aliens. In Latin, this anomaly is called plica fimbriata, and in English, it's called fimbriated fold syndrome, which means fimbriated folds of the tongue. This is, as they say, a remnant of the embryonic past, normal residual tissue that was not completely absorbed by the body during the development and growth of the tongue. The horny triangular patches are located on each side of the frenulum, a piece of tissue that connects the bottom of the tongue to the inside of the mouth, under the tongue, and run parallel to two different veins. While the fimbriated fold syndrome is typically harmless, there are some rare cases where it can cause discomfort or even pain. The folds can trap food particles and bacteria, leading to inflammation and infection. In some instances, the condition may also cause a burning sensation or discomfort when eating certain foods. Additionally, the folds can sometimes become irritated or even bleed if they are accidentally bitten or brushed too aggressively. However, for the majority of people with this condition, there are no symptoms or complications, and it is simply a unique characteristic of their tongue. Periauricular sinus. A completely harmless body anomaly occurs in 5% of people and is inherited from our ancestors, or even from great-great-great ancestors. In any case, those who still had gills. This atavism appears on either one or both ears and is characterized by a narrow, winding canal that opens at the beginning of the ear's helix. It does not cause any discomfort, but it can be surgically removed if desired. Interestingly, periauricular sinus, also known as preauricular sinus, is more common in some parts of the world than in others. In some African and Asian countries, the incidence of this anomaly can reach up to 10% of the population, while in other regions, it is much rarer. The reason for this geographical variation is still unclear, and researchers are still trying to understand the genetic and environmental factors that may play a role in the development of periauricular sinus. Despite being a harmless condition, it is important to note that these sinuses can sometimes become infected and require medical attention. In rare cases, they may also be associated with other congenital abnormalities, and individuals with periauricular sinuses may need to undergo further medical evaluation. Polydactyly. What do Halle Berry, Oprah Winfrey, English Queen Anne Boleyn, and Slipknot band member Sid Wilson have in common? They all had one diagnosis: polydactyly, an anatomical deviation characterized by having more fingers or toes than normal. The real record holder among polydactyly carriers is Indian boy Akshat Saxena. The boy has 34 fingers and toes, 7 fingers on each hand and 10 toes on each foot. Can you imagine the amazing guitar or piano solos that can be played with this mutation? However, as a rule, the extra finger is usually just a small piece of soft tissue that can be removed. Sometimes it is just a bone without joints, and very rarely the extra finger is fully formed. Polydactyly is a relatively common congenital anomaly, and its frequency varies widely among different populations. It can be inherited as an autosomal dominant trait, which means that only one parent needs to pass on the genetic mutation for the child to have polydactyly. In some cases, however, polydactyly may occur spontaneously due to a genetic mutation during fetal development. The condition can affect both hands and feet, and the extra digit can be fully formed or just a small piece of soft tissue. Although most cases of polydactyly do not cause any functional problems, in rare cases, the extra finger or toe may need to be removed surgically to prevent complications. Waardenburg syndrome. Changes in various genes can eventually lead to Waardenburg syndrome. Telecanthus, lateral displacement of the inner corners of the eyes, while the interpupillary distance is normal. Heterochromia of the iris, a lock of white hair, and often congenital deafness. This anomaly occurs in 1 out of 42,000 people. Often, individuals with this characteristic earn tremendous popularity on social media. In addition to the physical characteristics, Waardenburg syndrome can also result in hearing loss, which can range from mild to severe. This hearing impairment is usually present from birth and affects both ears equally. It is caused by a developmental abnormality in the inner ear, which affects the structures responsible for transmitting sound from the ear to the brain. Due to this, people with Waardenburg syndrome may have difficulty in hearing and understanding speech, especially in noisy environments. However, with the help of hearing aids or cochlear implants, many individuals with this syndrome can improve their hearing and communicate effectively. It's important to note that not everyone with Waardenburg syndrome will experience hearing loss, and the severity of the condition can vary widely. Ulnar Dimmelia. Truly a rare anomaly. There are no more than 100 confirmed cases of this deformity on Earth. The ulna bone is duplicated, there is no thumb at all, but there are 2 or 3 additional fingers. Mirror hand syndrome, the alternative name for ulnar dimmelia, does not cause discomfort in everyday life and is all positives. Even the slipperiest glass won't fall out of this hand, and you can hold onto public transportation rails with a death grip. While ulnar dimmelia may have some advantages, it can also present challenges for those who have it. The duplication of the ulna bone can cause issues with movement and grip strength, as well as potential for joint problems and arthritis later in life. In addition, the lack of a thumb can make fine motor tasks difficult, which can be frustrating for those who enjoy activities like drawing, writing, or playing musical instruments. However, with the help of occupational therapy and other interventions, individuals with ulnar dimmelia can learn to adapt and overcome these challenges to live full and active lives. Heterochromia. Expressive eyes can be achieved not only with distichiasis, but also with another harmless anomaly called heterochromia. This condition is characterized by different colors of the iris between the right and left eye, or different colors of different parts of the iris in one eye. Heterochromia occurs due to a relative excess or deficiency of melanin. The affected eye may be hyperpigmented or hypopigmented, resulting in a striking and unique appearance. There are 3 types of heterochromia: complete, sectoral, and central. Complete heterochromia is the most striking, where each eye has a completely different color. Sectoral heterochromia is when one eye has a patch of a different color within the iris, while the rest of the iris remains the same color. Central heterochromia is when there is a ring of a different color around the pupil, while the outer iris is a different color. Heterochromia is relatively rare in humans, occurring in only about 1% of the population. However, it is more common in some animals, such as cats and dogs, where it can give them a unique and striking appearance. What are your thoughts on these anomalies? Have you encountered anyone with any of these conditions? If you found the video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon to stay updated on new videos, and feel free to leave your comments below the video.